Welcome back, crafty friends. This pocket letter should look pretty familiar to you. This is the one that I worked on in my previous video, my very first process video. So I'll put the link on the screen if you haven't watched that. But today I am hoping to finish this, to go in and add embellishments, make the goodies or the extras that I'm going to put in the pockets. And I just thought you might like to see that. So let's go. So I'm going to start out by decorating the 2-card spread in the top left of the pocket letter. I chose the United States die cut from Paper Tray ink, and I'm cutting it out of a light blue cardstock. I did cut a copy out of vellum, but it didn't stand out enough from the background for me to use that. Here I am die cutting the letters for that same 2-card spread. I'm going to spell out Let Freedom Ring right now. I'm going to cut out Let and Ring in the red cardstock. This die cut alphabet was an older, I believe it's Quick Cuts set, and I'm going to die cut that in just some white cardstock. Right now I'm placing the letters where I think they might go, just so I know if I have enough room for everything to fit. You can see I was going to use my little Xyron, but then I decided to pull out its father here, my 8.5 inch wide one. I have more of this adhesive, so I decided to go with it. When I was placing my letters onto the cards, I started with the middle letters in the word freedom. This way I could make sure that when I cut the card in half, none of the letters would get cut off, so I kind of went from the inside out. You can see it's not straight across. I decided to do this to save on space, and I probably wasn't going to get it straight across anyway, so I purposely made it a little bit skewed. The let and ring I did try to leave straight across. After I put the cards into the pockets, I decided it needed a little something extra, so I decided to fight with my glue dots and blue star sequins again, and I added a little something before I placed it in there for the final time. Here I am trying to assemble a pinwheel from a paper punch. This is probably the first time I've used this punch, so I wasn't sure how it worked. I did not make you watch the 10 minutes I think it took me to fold that correctly. Here though, I just added a blue star sequin in the center, and I've decided I'm going to try my very first embellished paper clip. Here I am choosing a journaling card, and these are from Digital Project Life by Becky Higgins, and I believe it's called Life Lists. I'm going to just put this in one of the pockets as some fun facts about myself. The one I've chosen today, I chose a red one to stay with the theme, and it says 3 words I always misspell. I decided I needed to add something a little bit more to the pocket with the journaling card, so I have punched out another blue star, and I am just going to repeatedly stamp FYI in red ink multiple times on that star. I decided the pocket needed a little something besides the star, so I grabbed out my handy washi. I'm using the red chevron, and then here in a second you'll see me grab some very thin blue. I added those first before I adhered the star down. When I put that last card into the page protector, I noticed that the embellished paper clip needed just a little something extra. So I pulled out my Brads and eyelets container. Wow, that has been a long time since I've used any of those. So here I am just poking a hole in the middle of that blue star sequin on the pinwheel. And then I'm just going to push through the little red brad. To separate the back, I used the pointy end of my piercer. To decorate this card, I decided to make a layered USA. You're going to see me cut out from red cardstock, white cardstock, and then some of that red and white pattern paper that I've used on the cards. Before layering these all together, I cut the red and white patterned letters and the white cardstock letters at different sizes. I cut it off about the top quarter of the red and white pattern paper, and then cut the white cardstock letters in just about half. You just saw me there go in and make fringes on the bottom of those white cardstock letters. I thought that might give it a little bit more texture. Once I pulled those off of the Xyron backing, I did go in and chop off probably every other fringe, again just for a little bit more texture. am adding some gems between each of the letters in USA. For this card, I have decided to make it kind of like a business or calling card. I've seen on some of the YouTube videos where senders will include a card in the pocket that says their name and their YouTube and Twitter names. So I had a stamp set that had a designed by stamp in it. So I'm making a little flag here, and then I'm just going to write in my first name, which is Alicia, and then my YouTube channel name, which is Call Me Crafty Owl. Every pocket letter needs a letter, right? So this is going to be a decorated pocket that I'm going to put my letter in that I have created for my recipient. Here I am stamping the word notes in red, and when I cut it, I'm actually going to take that S off just so it says note and it makes more sense. For my letter, I'm going to create a little booklet with some accordion folded printer paper inside of it. Here I just showed you the star embossing folder that I'm going to use for the covers. I cut each of the covers down smaller than the pocket. I believe it was 2 by 3 for each of those covers that I cut it down to before I embossed it. Here I'm going to grab some white printer paper, and I'm going to cut that to 2 3/4 inches tall, and then when I do my accordion fold, it's going to be 1 3/4 inches wide. So you can just hear I'm folding it just back and forth. And last but certainly not least, it is time to create my shaker pocket. This is probably my favorite. I've grabbed out some red, white, and blue little mini sequins, and then I'm also going to get the star confetti back out, and I've added some of that to it. To seal my shaker pocket so none of my sequins fall out, I'm going to be using my fuse tool. This is the Project Life version, but I believe it's the same as the We Are Memory Keepers one. So I'm just going and I'm extending the lines on the left and right side of the pocket, and then I turn it and I seal across the top. Sorry for the shaky video. I think my fuse tool cord was messing with my charger for my phone that was recording this video. Thanks so much for watching today, crafty friends. I hope you enjoyed my little video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy it, I would appreciate you clicking on the little like button below. And as always, I would love to have more subscribers. Thanks. Bye-bye.